Hi everyone, and welcome to our session today on 5 steps to create your happy place. If this is the first time you're tuning into one of my webinars, hi, I'm Chloe from 3C's Philosophy, and my dream is to give you guys the tools and techniques to build yourself a happier, healthier, more positive life. So, what's my story? Well, for a number of years I've struggled with depression and anxiety, but unlike most people, instead of wanting to stay in and lock myself away from the world, I did the complete opposite. Found myself constantly making plans to be out and about and socializing with people so I didn't have to think about what was going on with me. So I hated being on my own. I hated being locked in a place where I had no one to distract me, where I could actually let the depression hit me. But it wasn't helping me. It wasn't helping me with my depression. It wasn't helping me with facing my anxiety. It was actually just helping me run away from it. So in order to focus on becoming myself again, I created a happy place in my home where I could relax, focus on my well-being, feel happier, and just feel powerful and feel happy with what I can achieve. So the aim of the session, firstly, I want to give you guys the tools to create your happy place, starting right now. I want you to tune into all senses and all parts of your brain so that you can feel happiness in all areas of your life. And I want you to take the first step towards your happy life. This webinar is designed for those of you that really want to make a difference in your lives. Those of you that want to feel happier, feel healthier, feel satisfied, and I want you to be committed to getting there. The thing is, happiness is actually a choice, and we are all responsible for our own happiness. We all have the ability to find our happiness and have the ability to create a place filled with things that make us smile. So that brings us nicely onto our first step. Number 1, a happiness journal. So in order to create a happy place, we kind of need to know what makes us feel happy, and that's exactly what a happiness journal does. It's a place where you can write down your positive thoughts or happiness thoughts each day. Just find one thing that made you feel happy that day and make a note of it. What it was that made you smile, what it was that made you feel good. Whatever it is, can be as big or as small as you want it to be. Maybe getting some fresh air and enjoying watching the world go by. Maybe you made a nice cup of tea, or maybe you had a nice catch up with a loved one. Whatever it is, write it down, because writing down your happiness thought each day is great. It gives you an idea of what makes you happy, but also it creates a place where you can look back. If you're having a bad day and don't really want to get out of bed, have it by your bed so that you can open it and read all the things that make you happy. It'll really motivate you. And the reason this is so powerful is because when you know what makes you happy, you can choose to experience more of it. You can choose to bring it into your everyday. If you know that you love the taste of tea and you love having 5 minutes in the morning to just enjoy your cup of tea, you can choose to experience more of that. You can put it into your day-to-day activities. So you give yourself those 5 minutes to get ready for your day. Okay, so on to step number 2. Now, those of you tuning in that like to be creative, this is the step for you. A vision board. Now, a happiness vision board is a collage of all the things that make you feel happy. You could have a photo of your family, maybe the wrapper of your favorite chocolate bar, whatever it is. And your vision board can be an amazing tool to bring you happiness because it's a reminder of all the things in your life that are wonderful. Now, the key to a powerful vision board has 2 combinations. 1, what you put on it, and 2, where you put it. It needs to be put somewhere that you'll see every day. Many people hang their vision boards opposite their bed, so that's the first thing they see when they wake up and the last thing they see at night. I personally put my vision board on my desk so that when I first start work, I can take a look at it and just feel happy and ready for the day. Now, the biggest challenge with creating a vision board is finding the right way to illustrate what makes you happy. Many of us know what makes us happy and can describe it to others and can even bring it into our day-to-day. But how do you put that on a board? How do you summarize that emotion and how do you visualize it? And that's something that we'll talk about a little later on. So, on to step number 3, a power playlist. And the clue's in the name. A power playlist is a group of feel-good songs that make you feel powerful. Because at the end of the day, being in control and feeling powerful is a great way to feel happy. So prepare a playlist on your laptop, on your phone, on your computer, however is easiest for you. But the key is it needs to be easily accessible. So don't be going into these streaming sites because you always rely on internet to be getting onto it. Now, in the world we live in today, it's quite rare that we don't have access to the internet, but I promise you, the one time you want to listen to your happiness playlist when you need it the most, your internet won't work because that's life. So prepare a playlist that is easily accessible and it needs to be personal to you. Another reason why streaming sites don't really work is because, yeah, there's songs that are upbeat and make you feel good, but actually they're not personal to you. So they need to be full of music that you've listened to as a child that brings back great memories, maybe a soundtrack of your favorite film, whatever it is, put it in your power playlist so you can listen to it wherever and whenever. Number 4, a smile scent. Have you ever just smelled something that just takes over your mind? Brings you back to a place or a memory that you've had? Something that just makes you feel amazing. Well, that's exactly what we're going to try and achieve with our smile scent. So your smile scent needs to be a smell that reminds you of a happy memory, or a smell that makes you feel good. Once you've found your smile scent, the most important thing to do is find a way of having it with you always. It might be in a moisturizer that you carry, it might be sprayed onto a little piece of card that you keep in your wallet or your purse, or it could even be a candle that you light in your home. Whatever it is, place it around you. Because the best part of a smile scent is when you smell it and you don't even realise, and all of a sudden it just brings back all these amazing feelings and amazing emotions. And that's exactly what we want it to do. And finally, a place for me. Now, those of you guys with an eye for detail know it's not by accident that there is a full stop in between the M and the E. The reason why is because it stands for my enjoyment. Now, the place for me is a place where you need to be able to distance yourself from everything around you. It's a place where you can be mindful of you and where you are top priority. Because, as we said earlier, at the end of the day, you're the only person that can bring yourself happiness. You are responsible for your own happiness. And so you need to make time for that. You need to make time to be happy and to have a place where you can focus on yourself. It can be wherever you like. So many of us, it'll be a place in our homes. It might be a seat in a coffee shop. Maybe you like your favorite coffee there, nice hot chocolate, or even a tea for those tea drinkers out there. It could be a bench in your favorite park. Maybe you like the smell of the freshly cut grass or the kids running around behind you. But it needs to be a place where you are away from everything else. So for those of you there that have possibly young kids or live with other people, if it does become a place in your home, just make sure that they know that it's a place for you and not to be disturbed, because that's something that I found when I was doing it. I did actually create my happy place in my home because that was part of my goals and I wanted to feel happier being at home. And so the biggest struggle I had was that people coming up to me and start talking to me because it was in an open place. But very quickly, they came to learn that actually when I'm sat on that couch, it's just me time. And actually, I'm just focusing on my happiness. So that brings us to the end of our 5 steps. But actually, it's not all. And what I want to do is just spend a few minutes with you guys now, just talking you through a few things that I'm doing and that's coming up next. So as we were just talking about our happy place, now, many of us struggle with creating a place for my enjoyment because it seems to go against our natural instincts. Many of us might feel guilty, feel selfish, like, do I deserve to have some time to myself? Or, is it wrong that I'm just going to sit on this couch and have some time to myself and my kids need to make sure they leave me alone? And so we actually run a session that guides you to making that place for yourself, but not around where it is, but actually eliminating the guilt of focusing on yourself, the guilt of feeling selfish, because actually by helping yourself, you are helping others around you. I always like to bring up an example with this, which I think many of us can understand, is that if we're on a plane and the oxygen masks come down, they always say, put your own mask on before helping others. Now, I've never really understood that until I went through the experience of depression, because it's so true. If you don't have any oxygen left in the plane, and the oxygen mask comes down, and you spend time helping the person sat to your left, they're then fine, but actually you run out of oxygen and you can't help anyone else around you. However, if you put your oxygen mask on first, you've then got the energy, you've then got the oxygen so that you can help as many other people on that plane that need you. So actually, by focusing on yourself, in the long run, you are helping other people, and that's something that we really focus on in that session. Also, we're running a session on what's my vision. So that's really there for any of you guys that want to work towards living a happier, healthier life and really making it long term. So in that session, we talk about our values, we talk about our vision, we talk about how we identify our happiness and actually how we plan it. So making sure it happens. And finally, many of you might already have an idea of your happiness. You might know what you want to have in life and what you want to achieve. But this session is all around those goals. So making achievable goals that you can meet, that can make you feel good. And actually a lot of that session, we focus on how to make them long term. So looking at creating the habits, creating habits that start with a goal and actually they become part of your day-to-day life, they become part of autopilot mode so that you're constantly reinforcing happiness throughout your life. But anyway, that brings us to the end of our session on 5 steps to create your happy place. So thank you so much for your time today. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have.